ask you for your support. Finding honest Native-centered news is not easy, but with your support, we're able to provide accurate information about Standing Rock, Line 3, treaty violations, and COVID-19 in our Native communities. Please visit Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon and donate if you can. That's Native Roots Radio Network on Patreon. Pinigigi, and thank you for your support.
What does it mean to begin? Creation Story explores Native origin stories through powerful contemporary art, connecting past and present with every brushstroke in sculpture. Explore how identity, culture, and resilience are shaped through art. Creation Story, now at All My Relations Arts through July 26th. This exhibition invites you to the heart of the Ochate Shikowin storytelling, where spiritual relatives guide the way. Open to all. Learn more at allmyrelationsarts.org. Experience the beginning. Experience Creation Story at All My Relations Arts in Minneapolis.
At Metro State University, students learn from expert instructors in high-demand degree programs like healthcare, technology, cybersecurity, teaching, and business. As one of Minnesota's most diverse universities, Metro State is dedicated to providing a welcoming environment for all students. Explore 60-plus bachelor's programs at their May 29th open house in St. Paul. Learn about how free tuition is possible for eligible students through the North Star Promise Scholarship. Visit metrostate.edu/open house. Know your power. Metro State University.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis AIR. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis AIR dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis AIR on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for clear skies tonight with a low around 64, Wednesday sunny with a high near 87, and Thursday rain with a high around 83. Let Natural Lawn handle lawn care so you can enjoy your yard. Their organic-based treatments feed the soil naturally using fewer unnecessary chemicals. It's safer for the kids, pets, and the planet. With no contracts, expert soil testing, and a 100% satisfaction guarantee, your lawn is in good hands. Learn more today at naturallawn.com.
Portions of Native Roots Radio may be pre-recorded.
It's a good day to be indigenous. Get up, stand up.
They are going to become more brutal.
Hitting the cut again.
Because all the hippies were trying to be Indians anyway.
They're going to become more repressive because it's a matter of dollars and their illusionary concepts of power.
Hey, Victor.
We must live in balance with the earth.
And also with recent happenings at Wounded Knee.
I am awake.
Welcome to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Wakanja Hade. Hey, Karagi to all my friends and relatives in 4 directions. You are listening to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and I'm your host, Robert Pilot. Hey, we discuss local, national, Native news and events, and as you know, Chujunk, Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues.
Yes, you are right, Dega. And this portion of the show is supported by the Minnesota Indian Women's Sexual Assault Coalition.
Yes, it is. Hey, we got a lot going on here. Again, it's May is American Indian Month here in Minnesota, and also May is also Mental Health Awareness Month. We always check in locally here what's going on, and we check for in the monthly calendar, MUD's monthly Metropolitan Urban Indian Directors calendar, and we got a couple things coming up. Geez, it's already the 13th here? What the heck?
I know, right? This month is kind of like flying by, but in a good way because there's a ton of good things going on. This month here in community, I know tomorrow, Wednesday the 13th at 11 a.m. Edison High School, we'll be doing a Native Student Showcase. There's also going to be a dessert bar and ice cream social at the Minnesota Chippewa Building Kitchen in Minneapolis, 1308 East Franklin Avenue from 1 to 3 p.m. They're going to have dairy alternatives too if dairy's not your thing.
But that ice cream social event is sponsored by Fond du Lac Urban Office, Bois Fort Urban Office, Wichoe Non Dagi Kaden, Language Table, and White Earth Elders Concerns Group. That's at the Minnesota Chippewa building tomorrow from 1 to 3.
Wow, I like how you said, "Ain't if it's not your thing." Oh, wow.
If it upsets
You're
your
so
tummy,
hip.
yeah,
Yeah.
like mine.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't think, we're supposed to be drinking the milk of another, species mother, so
Oh, makes sense.
That's another show. Oh,
Yeah.
wow.
Well, tons of other things going on. Thursday on the 15th, there's going to be Minneapolis Honoring Our Youth at South High School from 5:30 to 7:30. Friday, May 16th, a bunch of stuff going on from 12 to 1:30. The Anishinaabe Academy is doing a school career fair or at 12:30, I guess. There's a middle school powwow going on at Sanford at
Wow.
3524 42nd Avenue. And then White Earth Urban Office will have their open house from 12 to 3 on Friday.
Wow, and I know they always have nice little food there on the side. I'm gonna try and make that. That sounds cool.
The food, we know you love the food,
And
Robert.
the food and T-shirts, I think, is what I'm
Yeah.
known for.
Hey, good things. Saturday, May 17th, I know some people running in this. There's going to be Native women running, hitting the streets with their MMIR team for Women Run the Cities here
Wow.
in the Twin Cities, St. Paul, Minneapolis. There's going to be a 5K, 10K, or an option to do the 10-miler. So good luck to the women running with Native women running. Also Saturday at 10 a.m., you can head out to Afton. There's going to be a community pipe ceremony and bison festival. This is the welcoming back of the bison at Bellwyn Conservancy Center in Afton. It's going to be at 2612 St. Croix Trail South on Saturday, starting at 10 a.m. I think you do have to register. I think it's bellwyn.org/bison fest.
Ooh. Hey, don't pet the bison. You know, we got people still doing that in Yellowstone Park, getting whipped around and gorged.
Please be safe. 25 feet. You don't want to walk up to those big, beautiful animals. They will be protecting their relatives as we do. So Sunday, May 18th, there's going to be Indigenous Arts and Crafts Fair at Bloomington Civic Plaza from 10 to 2 on Sunday. And then Monday, the 19th, American Indian Day on the Hill starts at 9:30 at the Capitol in St. Paul.
Very cool. And then is that what else do we got going here? I typed something else in here.
Yeah.
May 24th. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, your birthday, Dega.
Somebody
We do have to mention your birthday.
Somebody deleted that on our master script. Find out for me who did that.
No, I put it in my calendar. Don't worry. Everyone make note that Robert's birthday is May 24th, and we have to wish him a very, very happy birthday.
64 years. You know the old
Sacred.
Yeah, you know the old saying, if I knew I was going to live this long, I would have took better care of myself. Ouch.
Maybe you can, do that for the next 20 years or something.
I have to start doing
We can
Pilates or
stretch
something.
you, yeah. Get you there. Well, there's stuff going on. We talked about this heat yesterday with Dr. Stately.
Yeah.
It's hot. I know that there's some wildfires going on in our northeastern part of our state right now.
That's
We're not
crazy.
seeing that smoke because it's blowing north towards Canada, but yeah.
Oh, they get it because, geez, what was that? A couple of years ago, Canada was on fire, and it was like the air here in Minnesota and all around the country too. Come to think of it, New York looked like it was like in a nuclear freeze. It was so cloudy from the smoke.
Yeah, that's scary. I was looking up, NPR posted this. This was an update this morning. I think it's I don't know if the fires have been controlled at all. I think there's 3 separate ones, but as of this morning, crews continue to battle those large fires burning out of control. This is the Camp House fire and the Jenkins Creek fire, and these are, I guess, what I saw this morning burned 3,000 acres combined, but what I saw recently, as of like an hour ago, it was 12,000 acres. It's destroyed dozens of structures about 40 miles northeast of Duluth, says NPR. So when I looked at the map too, you can go on Google Maps and see where these fires are. They do have the locations, and it's going to be about a little bit northwest of our friends in Fond du Lac, and then still south of our friends at Grand Portage Reservation. So kind of towards the Silver Bay area and into the woods there off of Lake Superior are where those fires are.
Yeah, and last night they said that a lot of them were detained or contained, and now it looks like because it's been windy here in Minnesota, the heat brings in wind a lot of times. It's blowing in the heat. If you know, that's a little bit I know about the weather, but
well, I don't
but
know.
yeah, so yeah, I mean, I'm on the Star Tribune, Northern Minnesota Wildfire Response. This is when you find out what a kind of community you live in, and I know the community was really stepping up there. There was people that were getting their animals out of there before their structures were burning down. So peace, yeah.
Yeah, please check on your relatives if you have family in that area. There are 3 separate wildfires still burning. But yeah, please do not have bonfires right now. Be careful with any flammable things that you have around you. Check your red flag warnings too. I know that those are still going on all around the state.
Well, what's crazy, just to change the subject a little bit, is Wendy and I didn't know what to watch. We were all caught up on our own shows, and the Timberwolves won again. And
I saw that.
and we didn't get to watch them because we're dum-dums.
I have been kind of lacking on that too, but yeah, shout out to you if you've been keeping up with our Minnesota Timberwolves. I know
Right?
the Wild are out, which I was
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
disappointed in, but I think the Minnesota Frost, the girls team, I think are still going to the playoffs.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
trying to
I
figure
think they're definitely they had to play one more game. They're in the playoffs. And also my twins, they've won 8 in a row, and they are 21 and 20, the first time they're over 500 this year, and they're doing good. But again, the Wolves are 3-1 after a 117 110 win over the Warriors in game 4. Oh, wow.
Nice. We love them twins. We're going to have Ruth Anna Buffalo on from Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center up next, and Ana Negrete from the MMIR Minnesota State Office later.
Wow. Should I hit the bumper music?
I think so. It might be that time.
I don't know. I'm kind of new at this. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and again, we have some rocking guests here, and our co-host and producer Haley. I guess if you're a co-host and a producer, you outrank me, so I better be nice.
Oh,
wow.
but you are the founder and the elder of the show.
Oh, good one. All right. Hey, Native Roots Radio. We'll be right back after this short break. Please, 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 please stay with us. Pinigi.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
Support for Native Roots Radio comes from the Walker Art Center, an art space that's more than the spoon and cherry. Galleries celebrate contemporary visual art, including Indigenous artists like Edgar Heap Birds, Cheyenne and Arapaho Nation, and Jim Demini, Ojibwe. Additionally, films screen in the cinema, and performances are shown on stage. Free every Thursday night and free every day for members and citizens of tribal nations. Learn more at walkerart.org. Again, that's walkerart.org.
Doherty Family College at the University of St. Thomas is your pathway to a bachelor's degree. Located in downtown Minneapolis, Doherty Family College offers an affordable education that includes free textbooks, a laptop, meals, career coaches, and a Metro Transit pass. As a full-time Doherty Family College student, you'll benefit from mentorship from St. Thomas faculty, along with paid internships and support from Minnesota's largest private college. Ready to turn your dreams into reality? Apply now at dfc.stthomas.edu. Doherty Family College, your journey to success starts here.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Hi, this is Representative Sharice Davids from Kansas. I'm Ho Chunk, and you're listening to Native Roots Radio.
And we're back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Clinic on Franklin Avenue in Minneapolis, honoring health and tradition.
Yes, they do. Hey, we are with Ruth Anna Buffalo, President and CEO of Minnesota Indian Resource Center here in the great state of Minnesota and in the city of Minneapolis. Hey, Ruth, I hope you're not driving. We don't want you getting in an accident. Oh,
Hi. No, not driving. I'm parked, safely parked.
right on. Hey, how was your Mother's Day Sunday? I saw that you had the kids swimming.
Yeah, it was really good. We went swimming, grilled out, and yeah, it was a good day with family.
Right on. Well, I'd officially wish you on Native Roots Radio a happy Mother's Day.
Thank
Belated.
you. Thank you. Matsugidads. Appreciate
Hey,
it.
right on. Hey, what's been happening over there at the Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center?
Gosh, a lot has been happening. We have the top 2 floors construction going, and it's, steadily moving along. They're now starting to get walls in progress, upstairs. They have windows now on the top 2 floors, floors 3 and 4. And so still a lot of moving parts, but we're excited to stay on track with the projected schedule of having at least 6 tenant units leased up or occupied by the end of this August.
Wow, that's amazing. Great work. Great work. Gosh. Hey, so we talk about our unsheltered relatives and with the cold weather, but geez, the hot summer's coming up now, and it's really 20 degrees warmer now than it should be, and it's hot right now. I'm in the house with my air conditioning on, sweating.
Right. Yeah, for sure. We're, making adjustments, but making sure that we can do sustainable, like feasible efforts, or efforts that are feasible within our reach. So currently we do have a meal program that offers breakfast Monday, Thursday and Friday, but we also have breakfast on Tuesday and lunch as well on Tuesdays during our weekly resource connect. But yeah, we have the space, the community room open basically every day this week for meals, because Wednesdays Indigenous Peoples Task Force uses the community room space and the kitchen for their community meal for harm reduction every Wednesday. And then Tuesdays is lunch and breakfast, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. during the Resource Connect, where service providers are on site to help individuals, families in the community get connected to resources such as housing, and then also we have behavioral health specialists on site as well, targeted case management. And then Monday, Thursday, Fridays is breakfast only from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. And Coach Mukwa Roberts has volunteered to offer cooking on Thursdays, as long as, it doesn't conflict with his tournament basketball schedule, he said. So.
Well, with all that going on, again, we want to ask you what we can do and how can we support your work?
Yes. Oh, sorry, I'm not sure if I froze up there.
No, you're good.
Yes, please donate. If you go to www.miwrc.org, there'll be a big donate tab that kind of comes up. And so please donate there if you can, or just help spread the word. We're on Facebook at all in caps MIWRC. And so we're also on social media, which is Instagram and LinkedIn under MPLS _ MIWRC for Instagram, and then LinkedIn is Minneapolis or Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center.
I know over the years when you were a political figure, you did a lot of speaking. Do you do speaking engagements? And if you do, how do people get a hold of you personally?
Sure. Yep, I do. Yeah, I recently did one this past Monday, May 5th, for Red Dress Day at North Hennepin County Community College. And so, yeah, you can get a hold of me at MIWRC socials at miwrc.org, or our Buffalo at miwrc.org is also another direct way to get a hold of me. So yeah, please feel free to reach out. Happy to share on a number of topics. And so yeah, please use me as a resource. No pun
That's
intended.
great. No.
No, just kidding.
Oh,
Minnesota Indian
yeah.
Women's Resource Center.
Yeah. Oh, I get it. Oh, I'm a little sleepy right now. There's funny too. People, if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, or Blue Sky, I just saw like a little hand come out of your ear. It looked like there's a hand behind you. It was kind of, it was kind of interesting.
Yeah,
The
the
little one.
twins and I just woke
Yeah.
up.
Hey,
Boy
shout out
twins
to
just woke up
them.
from a nap.
Oh, I'm with them. I just woke up from a nap too. Right on. Hey, ooh, right on. Good way. Hey, so did you see that there's a new date for the community-wide celebration for American Indian Month? The parade and powwow are rescheduled on the 30th of May.
Yeah, yep, I saw that, and I know that's a big high school graduation date as well, especially in our family. We have the oldest son graduating same day,
Oh,
so we'll try to figure out how we can best navigate that day. And also, our MIWRC open house is May 22nd, 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. And then we also have ledger art workshop session being held the same time, same day at MIWRC, 11 a.m. I think to 4 p.m. So please contact Zawin Gonzalez, Z Gonzalez at miwrc.org to get signed up.
wow, ledger art. That'd be interesting to go and learn. Now, there's a limited amount of seating, so people need to register as soon as they hear this.
Yes, 15 spots available. Email went out today as well to kind of encourage people to sign up. But yes, should be a good event. We also have a different number of like support groups. Our existing support groups are still in effect. Like we have the Empowerment Moms group. We have Kids Night Out. That's going to be rescheduled. We have the second Monday of every month is the Caregiver Support Group, hosted and coordinated by our kinship workers, ICWA kinship workers. What else? We also have Native Survivors Empowerment Group that's hosted by Nujamo. So yeah, lots of support at MIWRC and just working in unison with our community partners and the community. So just thankful for continued support as well.
Well, I gotta just say that's pretty amazing. You don't have any paper in front of you, and you just rattled off like about 10 things. So you have a lot of plates spinning there, Ruth Anna Buffalo.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. I think, I'm a mom too, so I don't know. I used
Yeah,
to coach, so I don't know. Maybe it's just habit.
yeah. Well, and then you play too. I ran into Ho Chunk's 5K. I ran into one of your teammates there, a
Oh,
Ho Chunk
cool.
lady that plays on your team.
Awesome. That's
Yeah,
cool. Yeah,
yeah.
that's pretty awesome. Yeah, we're still still going strong with basketball activities in our family, and the twins and I were able to go swimming past couple of nights, Sunday and then last night we went swimming. But it feels really good to be out in the water. But you're right, with the, like you mentioned earlier, the degree temperature. Did you say it was like
Mhm.
how many degrees hotter than normal?
20 degrees
20
hotter than
degrees, yeah.
normal. Yeah.
Because the water too, you could feel it. It's warmer. I mean, it's nice, but then it's like kind of abnormally warm, I would say. But it feels good. I mean, it's cold at first, but yeah, it's definitely um, eye-opening, especially for like the rural communities with the fire red
Yeah.
alerts and things, and then the high winds. So yeah, I know like a lot of the rural tribal areas too are kind of are on high alert. There was just a article that came out this past week of like how many fires were in North Dakota, like at least 18
Oh, wow.
fires, different like Turtle Mountain, Fort Berthold even. So it's yeah, it's interesting times that we're in for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And Haley brought up the local fires that are happening up close to tribal areas in northern Minnesota too, right, Haley?
Yeah, just a little bit northwest of Fond du Lac, really, between the Silver Bay and Duluth.
Yeah, so everyone be careful out there. And I get nervous because I'm an urban Indian and I have like neighbors that are like having fires in their backyard,
Oh,
and I'm
geez.
just going, I gotta like rake my yard so no ambers come in here and start torching my house. So everyone rake your
Gee.
yard, you know,
Right. Yeah.
or don't have a fire because geez.
Yeah, the staff mentioned this too. The kind of a interested tidbit of information the other day was that because some of our chairs in the conference room are older, and so you'll sometimes like start slowly sinking when you're sitting in one of the chairs. I was like, I'm sinking, and it was like way down there, and then then someone said, you know what, we're actually sinking though as a country. Like the geographical effects, impact or as a result of the different extreme climate that we're
Yeah.
encountering and things. So yeah, there's some truth to that of just the changes, and then how there's lots of other things that go along with that environmentally.
Well, I just want to say, and I agree 100%, that I really appreciate you coming on. I know you're super busy. You got the twins, but it's great to have you stop in. And please, everybody, reach out to Minnesota Indian Women's Resource Center. Thank you so much, Ruth Anna Buffalo. Have a great day.
Thank you, Matsuka Dads.
Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break. Stay with us.
Artworld is celebrating its 30th year. This popular free event is the largest open studio tour in the nation, a fan favorite with art lovers, families, and fun seekers alike. With 1,400 artists and 100 locations throughout Northeast Minneapolis, you'll meet potters, painters, weavers, woodworkers, and more. And you'll find all types of art at all price levels. Then there are the terrific bars, restaurants, and breweries in Northeast, plus music, entertainment, and art demos. With Artworld, you're set for 3 days of wonder. Start planning now. Artworld is Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, May 16th, 17th, and 18th. Visit NEMA.org. That's NEMAA.org for details. You'll find an artist directory, maps, dining and brew guides, event and music schedules, even info on Metro Transit passes and trolley rides. Plus, new this year, a passport app can win you prizes, a commemorative sculpture and raffle, a special beer from prize, and 30 featured artists of Artworld. That's May 16th through the 18th in Northeast.
Hey, it's Jennifer from AM 950. I'm 57, and lately I've definitely been feeling it. Lower back pain, hip aches, brain fog, and serious lack of energy. That's when I decided to try Hypercharge Wellness, and I'm so glad I did. At Hypercharge Wellness, they focus on proactive wellness and medication-free solutions to help you feel better and live healthier. Their FDA-approved light therapy helped reduce my chronic pain and inflammation, and the results have been nothing short of life-changing. My back pain and stiffness are improving, and I'm finally starting to feel like myself again. They also offer laser therapy that targets muscles and joints, perfect for injury recovery and pain management. Whether you're dealing with fatigue, chronic pain, or mental fog, Hypercharge Wellness has treatments designed just for you to boost energy, improve clarity, and reduce inflammation. Take control of your health and wellness today with their $49.99 introductory session and consultation at any of their 3 locations. Visit hyperchargeclinic.com for more information.
This is Santita Jackson. Monday through Friday, 6 to 8 a.m. Central, we'll bring you the best progressive talkers, thinkers, and doers on AM 950, Minnesota's progressive voice.
When was the last time you had your roof inspected for extreme weather and hail damage? This is Chad, owner of AM 950, to talk about the exterior construction company I trust, Snap Construction. If you've noticed new roofing projects in your neighborhood, your home was likely hit by hail last summer and experienced damage. Snap Construction is helping homeowners like you, and they're the roofing specialists I trust. They are the most well-reviewed contractor in the Twin Cities and have a ton of positive customer reviews from homeowners just like you. Even better, Snap Construction's installations are backed by a lifetime warranty, so you know you're dealing with a qualified roofing expert. You want to work with a company that will be here for a long time after the work is done. Snap Construction has handled thousands of claims and will help you through the process. Do yourself a favor and get a free roofing inspection so you have the facts and peace of mind you deserve. Call Snap Construction today at 612-333-SNAP. That's 612-333-SNAP, or visit snapconstruction.com.
This is AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Think your company's safe? Your staff is working from home, right? As I speak, cyber criminals are mounting attacks across the country. Remember, when we're weakest, cyber criminals attack. Hi, Mark Sommerfeld from Rymark. The Rymark team is guiding our clients through these difficult times. In fact, demand has been so high, we created an easy-to-follow guide. It's yours free. Download our 5 steps to securely work from home now at rymarkit.com or call 651-328-8900 for a no-cost how-to discussion.
With your AM 950 weather, I'm Brett Johnson. Look for clear skies tonight with a low around 64, Wednesday sunny with a high near 87, and Thursday rain with a high around 83. Discover perfection at MIWRC's Real Roast Beef in Roseville. From Philly steak to crispy chicken, every bite is exceptional. Add freshly fried fries or rings for a winning combo. Visit MAVRICSbeef.com or find them off Lexington and Roseville. Unforgettable sandwiches. MIWRC's Real Roast Beef.
Oh, this is Dallas Goldtooth, and you're listening to the Native Roots Radio. Hoka, hicha, wecha.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
This portion of the show is supported by Native American Community Development Institute, or NACD, in Minneapolis.
Hey, wow, we have our friend Ana Negrete, and we are going to be, and I just have to give you your Interim Director of Minnesota State MMIR Office, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Office, which is a part of our Minnesota Department of Safety. Again, good to see you and welcome back.
The office today, as we start the back to office, we have to be back in the office here starting June 1st, and so I am cleaning up my office just in case anyone wants to pop in. So
Yeah. Oh, put some sacred pictures up there. Oh, wow.
Get pictures of you guys framed and put it in the office. So
Yeah, well, we can make that happen. Just maybe this picture here that we have on our live stream, that'd be cool.
yeah,
With the countdown, with Haley holding up the sign with 1 minute left.
yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Hey, so how are you doing? Last time we talked, we were getting excited for American Indian Month kickoff and sharing our success stories, but really things got really derailed here, and I know community's healing, and but your work still happens, and I know your work is a part of healing too, and I follow you on Facebook, and this is still we still have missing people every day.
Yeah, we sure do. It's, as things happened, I know we were really excited to be in community, and we ended up being in community just in different ways as a community, mourn together, just such, I couldn't even wrap my mind around what was all, just the magnitude of everything. But yeah, I mean, things have not, folks continue to go missing and are murdered. Recently, we put together a one-pager that maybe you have seen floating around social media that highlight 14 of our long-term missing persons cases. So, we're trying to raise awareness around those cases yet. Just, trying to stay in contact with families and just continue to let people know that there's still folks that are missing, and that, that doesn't change regardless of how our lives go on. And as we go through different things, families are still in pain, and now new wounds are here with the tragedies that happened in Minneapolis over the last few weeks. And so it's been a hard time for our community.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Our guests have been talking us through a lot of healing and a lot of things to think about too. Our community is resilient, and but we also, are broken in a lot of ways when it comes to the way we've been colonized all these hundreds and hundreds of years. we really need to really stick up for our youth, and really when people are hurting, it's a preemptive kind of thing. We really need to be there for our young ones, and if we're not, they end up missing, or they end up on the bad side of the law, and a lot of times.
I think that that's something that, our inaugural director, Juliette Rudy, really realized. And so like part of our staffing model includes violence prevention. And so Tani Savage is our violence prevention coordinator. And so, I mean, she is starting to make her way around schools and connecting with school districts, talking about what healthy relationships look like, boundaries, consent, all these things that I know for myself, we didn't grow up talking about what that looked like. And so there was a sense of like normalized violence, culture of silence, where we didn't talk about, the hard things that were happening in our homes and with our families. And so, that's an important part of the work that our office is doing. And geez, I think, the hardest thing about the last couple of weeks is just feeling feeling a little bit helpless, even as a state office, because the need is so great and wanting to do more, and also not wanting to impose secondary trauma and a very small staff who has statewide jurisdiction, and but still needing to respond. And so balancing all those things, wanting to be in all these different places and supporting in all these different ways that are so important, whether it's supporting them in grief or physically searching or in schools with education. There's so many needs, and so it's been a challenge to balance it all.
Yeah, there's a term, cycle breaking the cycle, and that doesn't happen overnight. But I feel like, to me, it seems like in the last 10 years, we're talking more about this than we ever have. Whether it was the Me Too movement that helped people feel safe about talking to this, or just the helplines out there, or Minnesota State MMIR office. It's huge, and there is some light on the end of the tunnel with your work and the other people's work in the community.
Yeah, I mean, it's so important for us to model that, for our kids. I, as an adult, just dipped my toe into therapy in the last couple of years, and that just wasn't something that was encouraged as a young person who had gone through all kinds of trauma that I absolutely should have been connected with. And as I started to talk to my kids, they're like, "Oh yeah, we know about attachment theory, and we know about different methods of healing," and they knew all those things. And so it's good to see that, like, they're more aware of that, of mental health needs, and that it's okay to ask for help and support. And so modeling that and talking about it and saying, what we all do is, as we do this work, as you all even do, are doing the work and raising awareness, that's still very taxing and can be heavy on all of us that are just engaged in trying to be part of that solution.
Yeah, and I think, I taught for 30 years, and I haven't taught in almost 4 years, but I really feel like the younger generation gets a lot more than I did, and I guess, and it's funny too, in some sense too, with Haley and I being a Gen Z and me being a boomer. There's things that Haley has to remind me that aren't cool anymore when it comes to saying things or certain things, or just, get me in line, right, Haley?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's a thing. We're all learning and
Yeah.
we're all healing, and that comes at different paces too. And you can start your healing journey no matter where you are or how old you are. So that's important too.
Right, exactly. And words matter. And I
Yeah.
and I think that's a thing that, I was always kinda told, when I was growing up, is that I didn't have feelings. And so what do you do with them? You either act out, or, you find somebody that can give you those, feelings that you need. And so I just feel like there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and like you said, Anna, your kids know a lot, and I know the kids nowadays and Haley do know a lot more than we did when we were younger.
They keep us in line and make sure that my kids are like, nope, mom, we don't eat there. We don't support this place or that place. I'm like, dang, I'm gonna have to go hunt and fish soon because there's so many different places that my kids are like, no, mom, they support X, Y, and Z. So that, yeah, it is good. And I'm glad that they are learning. And they also have new challenges that we just didn't, being safe online. We didn't have to worry about, all that type of exposure. And now there's so many more people that have impact and access to our kids because of, this tool, but also just another way that people look to exploit some, the vulnerabilities of children and those who are most vulnerable. And so, yeah, there's lots of things to consider as we talk about healing and protecting our young ones, and just so much work to be done.
Yeah. Well, and it's good that we talk about it because it reminds, people about that journey that we all are on, really. Time's changing and things change, and I'm a boomer, and Haley still likes me. Oh, what?
Well, and I think going back to what Anna said too, like she's like, "Oh, I don't know what to eat, and we can't support these restaurants, and maybe just going back to fish." Well, I think like going back to, and this could go for in a bunch of different areas, but I think returning to traditional ways and finding your way back to culture is healing in a sense too. I mean, at least just like from my experience, I would say like when I was really young and probably the furthest from my self identity and culture was I probably the most traumatized and living my most traumatized life and ending up with people in gangs and around violent situations. But I think finding my way back to culture has really brought a lot of the healing that I couldn't even find in other areas like therapy.
Wow, good point. See, there you go, Anna. Haley's got us in line here, but that's right on, Haley.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We need those reminders. And yeah, we all look for that sense of connection. And so we find that, and when we don't meet those needs for our kids or for our young people, or they're not feeling that with the family, they do, they look to what else is available. And so, then we see tragedies unfold like what happened over the last couple of weeks. So, it's just, I'm glad that we're coming together and talking, and that community is wrapping themselves around the impacted families. I know that that's what we're trying to do, and listen more here at MMIR to understand what they need from us. So yeah, we got a lot going on here at MMIR, so keeping busy.
Right on. Hey, we got Ana Negrete here, Interim Director of the Minnesota State MMIR Office, Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Office. And there's we're going to have you come back here. Looks like there's some new swag that I'm going to be begging for. Our new logo we'll have to talk about. You know how I am.
Off here in a second.
Right on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio, and we'll be right back after this short break. Get ready to howl. Ooh.
At Metro State University, students learn from expert instructors in high-demand degree programs like healthcare, technology, cybersecurity, teaching, and business. As one of Minnesota's most diverse universities, Metro State is dedicated to providing a welcoming environment for all students. Explore 60-plus bachelor's programs at their May 29th open house in St. Paul. Learn about how free tuition is possible for eligible students through the North Star Promise Scholarship. Visit metrostate.edu/open house. Know your power. Metro State University.
The Council on LGBTQIA2S+ Minnesotans is conducting a community needs survey. Two-spirit and Native queer voices are sacred and must be heard. Your experiences will guide programs and policies that support our relatives across Minnesota. The survey is confidential and available at mnqt.info/survey. The deadline is May 31st. Honor your story, help build the future we deserve.
Signing up for $1 bus and train rides with the Transit Assistance Program, or TAP, is quick and easy. Do it straight from your computer or phone by uploading one of the pre-approved documents listed at metrotransit.org/TAP, along with a copy of your ID. We'll mail you a to-go card with a full year of discounted rides. For questions or translation help, call 612-373-3333. 612-373-3333.
The city of Minneapolis is now on Native Roots Radio with Minneapolis Air. AIR stands for American Indian Relations. Guest host Christine McDonald talks to people about important things affecting the city's Native communities. Minneapolis Air dives into topics like public safety, public health, elections, and so much more. Tune in to Minneapolis Air on Native Roots Radio from 5 to 6 p.m. on the second Wednesday of every month, right here on AM 950.
Anine, I'm Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan, and you are listening to Native Roots Radio.
Welcome back to Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake, and this is Robert Pilot.
In this portion of the show, we like to bring awareness to our Minnesota wolf population. Say no to the hunts.
No.
Right on.
Right on. Hey, we're here with Ana Negrete, Interim Director of the Minnesota State MMIR Office, that's Missing and Murdered Indigenous Relatives Office, and which is a part of our Minnesota Department of Public Safety. Hey, welcome back, and we're talking about, you have some backlighting here, so it might be a little hard for me to see. Oh, okay. Yeah, dude, looking good. See the new swag here that I will be begging for soon.
First, I'm going to show you all the new poster. If you haven't seen it, please share it on social media. I know that recently a couple things have happened. We just celebrated Mother's Day, and so for a lot of moms, I try to make calls and texts and remind them, hey, we're thinking about you. I know it hits differently when your child is gone or missing, and so make sure to reach out to impacted families and keep them in mind as they go through different stages. This year, as we come into graduation season as well, there's folks that should be walking across the stage that aren't there. And so, we're thinking about them as well. To continue to raise awareness, we have done, you guys have seen the couple versions of bandanas. And so now this is our 4th year coming into the office. And so the new one is red this year. So those are fresh into the office, and so we'll be out in community distributing. I know that we, part of why we developed a logo and why our office exists is to help families know that they're not alone in this. And so I always get excited when I see MMIR plates or Haley rocking her MMIR hoodie or the license plates. That matters, and that helps families know that there's other folks that are thinking about them, and it's in unity that we have these things. And so be looking for those. I think we'll be there'll be some up in the Bemidji area. There's a march going on the 17th, so this coming weekend in the Bemidji with Native Lives Matter and MMIW 218, I believe. So those should make their way up that way. Monday is American Indian Day at the Hill, so we should be there as well, supporting tribal nations and all that they are going through. So we're hoping to be in community and help get these out.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then also the parade's been rescheduled for the 30th too. So I'm sure we'll see people sporting those beautiful scarves. And I know you can see mine in the background here.
Yeah, I see them. So now we got another addition for you. So I'll make sure to find you in the crowd and make sure you get those. So yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I hadn't heard that it was rescheduled, so that's good to know. We'll make sure we get them in the hands of community.
Right on. I think Haley, you broke that story here on Native Roots Radio.
Yeah, the Minneapolis American Indian Center reposted their open house and powwow for May 30th.
Yeah, cool. So Anna, any more updates that you'd like to let our people know? Because it's really important to touch base with you every couple of weeks. And sorry about that last time. The smoke signals weren't working as they normally do, and we didn't have you on, but we were bummed out.
No, I apologize. My internet, I won't name the provider who has done me wrong once again, but yeah, this weekend at the there's going to be an MMIR benefit concert in Minneapolis. So looking forward to that. So we'll be there with War Party and a few other bands that are benefiting, or that those funds will get donated back to the office and support our families. We're still working our way through the reward fund, and so really anxiously awaiting news there. We want to be helpful to families and communities, and so still making those pushes. So yeah, be looking for that. I hope that we get that resolved here soon. So
Could you tell us a little bit more about the concert? Because I don't think we know about that.
where did my so it's this Saturday. The doors open at 6 and it's at the Eagles. I think I want to say it's the Eagles Club in Minneapolis. Yeah. So I have it in my notes somewhere, but where that is, I'm not quite sure. But I will look that up here and make sure. Oh, here it goes. Eagles 34 in Minneapolis on East 25th Street. Doors open at 6. And there'll be some bands there, and proceeds will benefit the reward fund. So excited for that. And thank you for all those who organize. I guess they have had this in the planning since February.
Wow.
So we're excited to be out there. It's been a while since I've jammed out at a concert, but I'll be there on Saturday.
Well, if I go, I'll have to wear earplugs because this elder's getting a little deaf, right, with Haley?
Yeah, or just don't bring your hearing aids or something.
Yeah, or can I turn them down?
The
Well, that's
ears
good
and
news.
eyes, that go. So I'm with you.
Yeah. Well, I didn't have glasses until I was almost 60, but I think I was in denial for a few years there because I did have cheaters.
Yeah.
So we'll be amplifying that concert. That's something we'll definitely be bringing up every day now that we know about that. That's exciting, and people working hard for the community and the MMIR office. That's so cool.
And it's been cool to see unexpected, folks. Awamini came through with donating to the reward fund. So we were really excited because that just, people are thinking about our families and reaching out and making donations. And so now that we have the capacity to do that, we just really need to finalize that the policies and procedures that dictate all the details and get those out into the hands of community that are just in need. And we're so thankful for everybody who's put work into making sure that happened and became a law that we have plates. And so it's good to see them around town. And I learned recently that Redwood County down in the Lower Sioux community is the number one county for where those plates are being sold. So I was down there. Yeah, isn't that I was surprised with that. Pretty cool. I was down there on May 5th. They had that MMIR march. Mato Dow has been missing now for, is it 8 years? So his family was down there, and it was good to see turnout and support there. The final search kit got placed down there last week as well. I don't know if I've talked too much about those, but we have 4 search kits that are placed in Mille Lacs, Fond du Lac, Red Lake, and now Lower Sioux. And then the 5th kit will be retained in the metro area in case we need to be out doing searches with community. And so that when they are out searching, that they have some tools and equipment that can support them. We see all the time that if there's a response and there's this kind of initial push for search, After, a week or a couple weeks, families are left to search alone, and we didn't we still wanted them to have the tools that they need to be safe while they're out there. And so those are there and accessible to both community. They're placed within the law enforcement and public safety offices, but also accessible to community. So we should be pushing out more information about that as well in coming weeks. So be looking for that.
Wow. That's perfect. And this has become a really good update when it comes to the concert. I just want to end one quick thing with you, Ana. And how can people contribute and donate to the MMIR office?
Yes, always the license plate is a good way, but if you you can also make a checkout to the state of Minnesota, but put MMIR reward fund in the memo line, and those funds go directly to families in a variety of different ways. And I'll break that down soon next time I come on the show on where those funds are intended to go. So again, thank you for having me and always being helping amplify what's going on here at the office.
Yeah, you're doing great, and we really appreciate you having on. Hey, this is Native Roots Radio. That was Ana Negrete, and if we're still here, we are the 7th generation. You are listening to Native Roots Radio. We'll see you tomorrow.
Signing